So here we are with episode 23 with the dangers in my heart. Last episode, we've got to see the new classmates, and we've also had a moment where Kyotaro tells Adachi straight up that he and Yamada are close friends. And judging from the thumbnail of this episode, we'll just have to see what's going to happen. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access in the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Sports Festival. Damn, she's counting. I've over all the other teachers' head. Do this for me! Of course, for introverts, for people who aren't athletic, this fucking sports festival, Oh shit. You have to be on the night? Because you're light? He sits in front of him, right? That guy? I think we saw two other dude who look very intimidating. Maybe they'll be the support. Ichikawa's the knight up top. We're too big, we can't carry each other. I was trying to figure out why am I thinking about like the whole knight thing again. It's because season 2 of Demon Girl Next Door. You're puny. He's a growing boy! Hello, pouty! Oh my god, the faraway shots. What, you're looking at his dick? Oh, his height, okay. He's growing. Down. You got hurt during the sports festival last year. With Yamada. Oh, we didn't get to see that. Huh! Wow. Oh, look at these boys washing their hands. Sorry for telling people that you pulled her down. She set things straight, though. She went to your defense. Man's trying to open up, yo. Ichikawa's like, I'm out of here. That might be the first time we've ever interacted. Ah! So this is even before they interacted with each other. Back in those days. Oh, that's his, his scar? You see their heights right now? So now that Adachi's asking. Like, wow, you really shot up, huh? Oh shit, Adachi's on the other side! They're having a moment. How do you... Wow, Yamada, I can't believe you. So he knows, that's why he's like... I'm trying to be cool here! Oh. Wow, how romantic. I'll do it for you. Ooh, a fist bump? He's actually training. Wait, if you're the knight, you technically don't need to train all that much, aren't you? He's wearing Adidas. Yeah, you're out here fucking sprinting, not jogging. Okay. No. That's if you're fucking pumping weights. Google it. Don't want the algorithm thinking of a gym rat. Does that mean Yamada's just over here listening to him talk to himself? Oh no, she just... Wow, she didn't even notice. Ah, always be prepared for the zombie apocalypse. And before somebody's like, the zombie apocalypse was a reference to episode 12.5. Damn, she just took you right in. Pop in for a quickie? Toyosu. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, you seen how these ab rollers are. Alright, this fucking angle. Just squish him. He'll be fine. Alright, that's way too many weights. You need to take them off. Yeah, you need to take these extra weights off. Is there just 2 ovens in over there? That's why I'm taking up his challenge. It's just a man-to-man thing, huh? Alright, this guy's gonna fucking break his bag. Back. Ooh, he's just calling his first name. You need to take these fucking weights off. You're gonna break your back. I saw the way you fucking... Ooh, I'm gonna cook for you. Because we're the old kids now. Cover it. Don't want to let your, the secret. Wow, whatever she's written must be really small if that bandana is able to cover it. But it'll be even more epic and dramatic if it rains. Oh, he's actually doing the speech? He's serious about this. To be throbbing members. It's definitely going. I'm not gonna last to this guy. She's fucking lying. Damn. Said I love you in French and everything. Alright. Alright, a little bit too much pressure, teacher. This man's serious. He's serious in his own ways, huh? What does she do? But that's what I like about him. I thought you were my pal this whole time, but you've just been cock blocking me. So look, the rain's here. It's time to be dramatic. We still got the cavalry battle. All the introverts and non-athletes are just like, this fucking guy. Oh shit. This fucking guy. I don't want to play in the rain. Alright, 101 battle. You're a horse, come on now. Oh shit. For this thing called friendship, I've always despised. Ooh. Like I don't. Aw. 3, the dudes down there is just like, what's going on? Don't claim you like Yamada without. No guy who lets himself believe that the chocolate gets the claim he likes Yamada. Is that a tear or a rain? Go and shame in the way that I want. Trying to go out in a fit of glory. Oh, thank God it's raining. Yeah, good thing it's raining. Yeah, we're fighting right now. Let's go. If I didn't know you, man. Kill. And so Adachi sees it. Thank you. Oh man, it's raining today, isn't it? Yo. Oh, you're a licensed nurse? Oh, hell yeah, dude. No, he's just leaving. Oh, she's gonna go. Oh, sorry. That's somebody else. Is that Sekine? Yeah. Look at that. You've got someone. Ha! Ha! Because it's. Kana walks away. Mm-hmm. Oh, lunch? Wait, this is all egg? Wait, this whole thing... Oh, okay. Wait, does that mean that whole thing is just egg? Wait, this is like... this box is... If this... He expects it to taste bad. It's... Immediately eats it. Does that mean you have another box just for you that's like, oh my god. What if they do, huh? What if she wants it? What if she wants them to get the wrong idea? Oh my god, that rice ball. It's like as big as his head. What the fuck? Alright, as someone who's has been having onigiri for the past 3 days right now, because I'm in an onigiri craze, I've been making so many of them. I don't know, unless she salted that rice a little bit, like, it's just gonna be rice up top. The fillings down at the bottom. But holy crap, dude, that's a giant onigiri. That was good. This was one of the other scenes that I was I expected this to happen. You know, I was looking forward to it. There you go. And I thought they did a really good job with Adachi. And it's just very, very lovely, dude. Right? In the feeling of, in terms of the relationship that Ichikawa and Adachi have for each other. And I just love, Adachi saying, like, hey, dude, I like her, but, like, I think and I know you like her, but I think you're a great guy as well. It's just so nice, right? Adachi, as what Ichikawa says, right? This guy never changes, but that's what he likes about, that's what Ichikawa likes about Adachi, is the fact that he doesn't change, but he also, likes the way. I mean, this kind of goes back to the whole point of Adachi and Ichikawa are very similar to one another, right? That whole thing, and that's why Ichikawa likes Adachi. But okay, we're gonna go right back to the center. We'll talk more about Adachi. Alright, so that was episode 23 of BokuYaba. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty great episode. As I've mentioned, this was one of the moments that I was anticipating, and I thought that they delivered it pretty well in the way that they showcase Adachi's relationship with Ichikawa, or technically it's Ichikawa's relationship with Adachi, and you can really see the growth between the two of them, right? If you think about Adachi now, even though he's still very much the same, he is different to the way that he was all the way in the beginning. Kind of the same goes with Ichikawa, except with Ichikawa, he's able to grow a whole lot more. He's able to have a bigger introspection upon himself because he met Yamada. He was able to befriend her and come to understanding that he likes her. So we've got two boys growing in two different ways, and kind of like how in the beginning, in the first season, we've got Ichikawa who's always getting into Adachi's way, and now, in the last episode, we've got Ichikawa who's finally decided to say it straight up to Adachi instead of doing it indirectly before, saying that, hey, I have a close relationship with Yamada. Albeit, Adachi kind of figured that out already back in, like, episode 5 or 6, right? That's why he mentions to Ichikawa about his crush on Yamada, and the whole thing with him crushing on Yamada has always been very much an appearance type of thing. Anyways, here we are at the beginning with the teacher, whose name I currently can't remember, but she is very adamant about the sports festival. She says that y'all better win out here, because if you don't, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you. I'm over here trying to get first place so I can hang it above all the other teachers, to which I think it was Sekine who said that. It was just like, hey, maybe you should just shut your mouth about that part. Right? At this point, I'm over here thinking, you didn't even do anything, teacher. I'm just saying, like, you just happened to be in this class with these kids, right? Like, you did not do anything for them. You did not help them train or anything. They did this all by themselves. So, like, this is their achievement, not yours. But, whatever. Teachers and their pride and shit. And I will say, when it comes to the sports festival, Ichikawa has the same thought where, well, I mean, not the same thought as me, but he's just over like, oh, this useless event. Why do we need it anyways? And it made me think a little bit about Bocchi the Rock and the way that Hitori describes the sports festival. Because before, Bocchi the Rock certainly helped me think about the sports festival in a different light, because I never really thought about it that way, in terms of like how sports festival is pretty much just this big extrovert and athletic energy, and it's the whole idea of unity, and like everybody's got to be together, and if you are not a part of this group, then you are dragging us down, and we do not want that, right? And the people who are not participating in this spirit, they could possibly end up as like a scapegoat somewhere around there. So, again, just the way that Bocchi the Rock describes the anime, but Hitori, the way that she sees the sports festival. When it comes to me, I am very much an introvert with very bad anxiety, and I would rather avoid group activities for as much as I can. But if I'm in a situation where I can't avoid it and I'm just forced to go into it, I'd rather just take the mentality of, well, if you can't beat them, join them, because I get more anxious if I feel like I'm being left out of this group that I'm forced to be in. So I'd rather just join in and be a part of said group, to which usually my anxiety will subside afterwards once I've come to realize it's not all that bad. And then, I actually will have fun in group activities if you unfortunately force me into it. So I've never really thought of the sports festival in the perspective of someone who has social anxiety and, they just don't want to be a part of this school spirit and whatnot. Moving on to our next scene, which is Ichikawa and Adachi in the bathroom. Ichikawa's out here giving a little report to Adachi, I suppose. Right? Adachi's asking like, oh, you didn't join in? Well, I'm joining in for the cavalry battle. I thought that this was a little funny in terms of Adachi telling Ichikawa last episode about how he wants a report from Ichikawa, because Ichikawa is now in the classroom filled with all the hot girls, right? The girls that Adachi wants to be in the class in, but unfortunately he isn't. And so, you better give me all the reports. And here's Ichikawa reporting to Adachi, except it's just about himself. Not that Adachi minds, right? The two of them are just out here talking with each other in the bathroom and all that. And we've got Adachi who suggests that maybe it should be girls and boys mixed in together, and we should all wear bathing suits, and instead of taking hats off, we should take bikinis off, which is just like, the school's gonna get in trouble for that. The school's gonna get in trouble for that, alright, Adachi? You can try this fucking depraved shit like when you're an adult and you're in an adult setting with other adults who are agreeing to do this. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but like you just gotta wait until you're grown up and you have a little bit more freedom. And again, you've gathered people who are willing to do this. But the moment when Ichikawa says, "Oh, even pervy old TV shows didn't go that far," it for some reason made me think about this old variety TV show from Japan. It was a late night variety show that I remember watching as a kid. Don't ask why, don't ask how, just don't ask, but I remember seeing it. And the whole concept of it, right, is a water slide. I don't know if it's exactly called a water slide, but it's those things where you just lay it out on the ground and then you put a water hose through it and then water starts flickering, spattering on the platform, making it all wet, and then you just slide across it. It's that concept, except the slide is made out of humans, and those humans consist of young women in bikinis who are all lathered up. They're all oiled up because you gotta slide across them. And I remember seeing that as a kid, and I was just like, this is really weird, but also it's kind of funny. The concept was bizarre and it was weird. But as I started growing up, I started to think about how bad it was and how wrong it was, and I started thinking more about like, damn, dude, what were the contracts that these women had to sign in order to do this? And I also hope that they were all 18 plus at the very least, right? But then, dude, what are the contracts that you have to do? And like, what are the fucking fucked up shit that you've got to do if you want like that 15-minute of fame or something? But yeah, I really... Look, I wouldn't want to be a part of that human water slide. But, hey, you know what? If they're all consenting and all that, I guess it's fine. But again, it's just like, how many of them maybe have felt like they had to do it? But that's neither here nor there, because they're here as human water slide in bikinis, all lathered up and oiled, and the person who's going to be sliding across that slide is just imagine those old men, those chubby old men that you see in NTR hentais. That is exactly the person who's he's also in a bathing suit, and he's also all lathered up because he's gotta slide across them. Again, This is this is the whole concept was so wrong on so many different fucking levels. But he went and he did it. He took a running start and he slid across them, which like now I'm starting to think like oh my god, how many pounds is that guy and he's just sliding on them, like ouch. But also bodies are touching everywhere. All right, skin to skin contact is just everywhere. And he didn't even finish sliding across the whole slide filled with just women in bikinis. And so he started commando crawling across the slide. and at that point, right, he's out here touching thighs and like, touching other certain stuff as he's commando crawling across them. It's so funny still to me when I think about it. It's so bizarre, but also very fucked up. I would be pleasantly surprised if somebody knows or have seen that, but then I'll also think, what the fuck have you been watching? It's the same question that you could throw back at me, but you know what? Don't ask! Don't ask! Anyways, back to this conversation between Adachi and Ichikawa. Here, Adachi starts to realize, wow, you've shot up a lot. Another person who noticed the height that Ichikawa is gaining right now, and you can kind of see it in Yamada's the goal right now, right? So you can see how tall Yamada is, and then you can see how tall Ichikawa currently is. He is hitting her shoulders right now, which very good, you know. Maybe he might grow up to be the same height as Yamada, and that'll be pretty sick, huh? That'll be pretty good, because look, Yamada is taller than Ichikawa's dad, and Ichikawa's mom is shorter than him. So unless Ichikawa really has that tall gene within him somewhere, it's just laying dormant right now, and you know, maybe he'll fucking hit it once he gets into high school or something. Unless he has that, I would presume that he's not going to grow as tall as Yamada. Oh, not as tall, but taller. There you go. He might reach the same height as her. Who knows? Who knows? Again, maybe he might have that. He might just have that tall gene in there, hidden within him. But it is just a nice detail of like, oh, look at how tall Ichikawa is growing. And we've got Adachi who asks very personal question with the way that he says, oh, growing in like a forest down there yet? Personal questions, Adachi. Chill. But the sports festival reminds Adachi of last year when Ichikawa got hurt, and I really like that Ichikawa was surprised that Adachi remembers that, or more or less he had forgotten about that part about himself until Adachi reminded him of it. So in the centipede race, Yamada fell, Ichikawa landed on top of her, and Adachi apologizes for accusing him of pushing her down. Which is something that he did back in episode 2/3 as well, when there was Yamada's name on the graveyard and all that, and he was just trying to look cool in front of Yamada. But despite that accusation, Yamada set things straight, and she explained to Adachi that, oh, he didn't push me, he was just trying to keep me from getting hurt. And he says, Adachi says, that's when I first realized she was pretty cool, you know? And I thought that was very nice in the ways that this is a compliment that he gives to Yamada that isn't about her appearance. Because when Adachi realized that Ichikawa and Yamada are kind of friends with each other back in episode 5 or 6, or is it 7? Or is it 4? One of those episodes, one of those middle episodes somewhere. Yeah, I can't remember if it's 6 or is it 7. Anyways, that was when he confesses his like to Ichikawa, and the only thing that he could do when it comes to complimenting Yamada was about her appearance, which then makes Ichikawa feel a little sick, because he knows Yamada is so much more than her appearance, yada yada, right? So here in this part, the fact that he's complimenting something for her, right, whether it's her personality, her action, he complimented her without talking about her appearance. And I think that's overall nice. Of course, Adachi is still very much the same guy. That's what Ichikawa says, right? He never changes. But that's what I like about him. And even though he hasn't really changed all that much, his demeanor certainly has changed throughout the anime, and especially with his relationship towards Ichikawa as well. Unfortunately for Adachi, as he was trying to open up to Ichikawa, Ichikawa's just he's fucking off, you know? Adachi's talking all that, Ichikawa's just stuck in his head, right? As he starts to think, oh, this is the first time we've ever interacted last year between him and Yamada. Not only Adachi was thinking about last year's sports festival, Yamada was thinking the same. And we get to see this scar. Hold on, let's see. There you go. We get to see this old scar of Ichikawa that we haven't seen before, even though we have seen his arm before. But I believe they were only showing the bottom side up instead of the upper side up. And also might have been on the other hand, I can't remember which, but this is the first time we see the scar, and we basically get to see the reason why he has this scar in the first place. Which, damn dude, he fucking fell that hard? I guess Yamada did fall on top of him as well, so maybe that's like an extra weight. And then he's just, and like the ground was probably coarse too, right? Maybe with rocks or something? Who knows? But here we have Yamada looking at his scar, and then we also get to see he used to be at her shoulder, but now he's a little bit more halfway up to her face. I'm not exactly sure if this is the height, because like, I know that the anime kind of gets like the height discrepancy a little bit odd. So, but until then, I'm going to use this as the height reference, right? You can see how tall he has gone compared to Yamada now. Man, she's out here just touching his scar and everything. Goddamn, dude. And then we've got Adachi, who's watching this, right? He must have followed him back and sure that fucking Ichikawa left him. Adachi mentions that he now knows that Ichikawa and Yamada went out with one another on White Day. Well, technically it was a double date. And also, the fact that Kanzaki told Yamada about this. Not the other Yamada, but this guy. Ota? Is that what his first name is? But yeah, this fella, Kanzaki told him, and so he just ends up telling Adachi about it instead. Goddamn, dude, that's when you know you shouldn't be telling this boy anything. If you're just gonna tell the story to other people, you know? Maybe Adachi squeezed it out of him. Who knows? Who knows? Adachi's not that dumb, so he's able to pick up the hint, and so he goes on over to Ichikawa in order to challenge him to the cavalry battle. He's over here trying to be cool and shit, you know? Nobody's responding back, so he gets all embarrassed and shit, right? Like, come on, man, you should at least react. I'm trying to be cool here. Which is a little bit like Ichikawa when he was in his, death murder phase and all that. Ichikawa accepts Adachi's request for battle, and he says, I'll do it for you. For you. Again, romantic. So they did a little bro fist with one another, and then we've got Ichikawa, who's out here trying to exercise, except he doesn't know how to exercise, or he's just out here sprinting instead of jogging. But hey, he just so happens to meet Yamada along the way, who just didn't know that he was right there as well. She just spawned in out of nowhere and didn't realize that he was there, and she's just talking to Wantaro out here. That reminds me, I was a little bit too concerned about the way that Ichikawa was trying to lift this up. Good thing he's a young kid, so he wouldn't have hurt his back as much. If it did, really depends. But yeah, if he was much older, damn dude, your back would have told you to fuck off. But here he is, trying to lift this whole thing up. Hold on, let's see here. Yeah, see look, it looks like I thought he was about to use his feet. Yeah, it's about his legs, I mean. I thought he was about to use his leg to... Okay, so Yamada asked, do you like your eggs sweet or salty? And then here he is, just, the moment he did that, like, the moment Kyotaro did that shit, where he lifts up, and then he was about to just use his whole fucking back, I'm just like, no! No, Ichikawa, you're back! Look, as a person with scoliosis, my back! My back hurts just looking at this. Jesus Christ. It's sweeter ones. Oh, so he says it's sweeter ones I like. Okay, very interesting. He says he likes sweet eggs, even though he's not particularly fond of sweet things, but he still likes, he's not like in love with sweets, but he still have sweets from time to time. Okay, so sweeter ones I like. Okay, that's what he said as he fucking does his little yo, lift that up. Holy crap, dude. If she didn't catch him, this boy would have just fallen and the weight would have just fell on him. Yeah, no cavalry battle now. Goodness gracious. But here we are. Everybody's readying for the sports festival and all that. And we've got Yamada, who's writing Kyotaro's name on his forehead just to make sure that, you know, nobody else is going to see it. Just write her Kyo, not Kyotaro, just Kyo. And we've also got the weather forecast that says it'll rain this afternoon, of course. The weather always know. The weather always know. If it's something dramatic or something sad, it's time to rain. I thought that this was also pretty nice in the fact that Ichikawa did a speech, and then now here we have Adachi who is making the speech. My god, that far away shot. But as Ichikawa thinks about like, wow, he's up there making a speech and he's been preparing for this speech? Ooh, he must be really serious. And so here he is making fucking dick jokes in the speech. And I just thought that it's so fucking funny, dude. It's like, first of all, who let him do this? Who the hell let him do this here? But hey, it certainly riled up one person, right? It certainly riled up Ichikawa, who's just like, yeah, I'm not fucking going down to this guy, he says, as he goes down for this guy. One of the first things we see with the sports festival is the scavenger hunt, and we've got Kan, who is out here, you know, she's sneaking in a new note, because she wants to expose somebody. And it's just like, alright, you know, like, she's really taking all the opportunity to expose somebody. A couple, even ones that's not going out yet. Goodness gracious. But, unfortunately, it's, they can't just outright say that it's Yamada and Ichikawa. So I love that Yamada's just like, alright, take my parents. Yo, the way that she's so embarrassing. Yuki's just like, yeah, let's go, you know? We came in first. God, man said I love you in French. Unfortunately, they were disqualified for cheating. And then we've got the teacher who's very upset, right? Was I clear in how badly I want to win? Look, first of all, teacher, fuck you. That's the first thing. Fuck you. Not everybody is as serious as you are, alright? And again, you're not the one who's fucking... I don't know, unless we've somehow missed all that period of her, like, training the students for the sports festival and all that. Like, shut up. Oh yeah, we've also got this part where Yamada is supposed to be crawling through the net. I guess it's like one of those military things, except, you know, she's stuck here. The net's all over her, tangled on her tits and everything. Like, and we've got Adachi, the scene before, right? Kyotaro sees Adachi's just like, oh, he's training right now, right? He's warming up, he's jogging. Yamada's like, this man calls up immediately. Like, alright, dude, you're staring a little too hard, you know? Like, a little too much. And actually, here in this part, that's when, yeah, this guy, he never changes. But that's what I like about him. So good. And then here they are, just fucking fighting with one another, right? As he's blocking his vision. But this reminds Adachi that he's done this before. Many other times, he has done this before. You have cock-blocked me before, my guy. Something's up. After Adachi remembers that, it starts to rain because it's time for the drama. Time to be dramatic. All the introverts, all the non-athletes, who sees this. Oh no, it's starting to rain. Oh man, guess we're gonna have to give up on the sports festival early. That sucks. And then Adachi comes over. No, we need to continue. All the other introverts and non-athletes. This fucking guy. I don't want this to continue. But here we are. The cavalry battle between Ichikawa and Adachi. So as they do get out, Ichikawa starts to think to himself, am I doing this for Adachi? Or for this thing called friendship I've always despised? You can't say always, you've had friends before. No, it's nothing as noble as that. But before he can finish that, we've got Adachi who yells, I like Yamada, right? I like Ana Yamada. Says her full name and everything as he goes for the fucking attack. And this is, which I would presume consider that Adachi and Ichikawa are similar to one another. Perhaps the same thing that Ichikawa had in mind as well, right? It's not for something as noble as this. I just want to prove to Adachi that I like her more than he does. Or I'm not going to lose against a guy who holds feelings for Yamada when I also hold feelings for her, right? We've got to compete. We've got to duke it out. Which I would presume is why Ichikawa responds back with, like, I don't, right? You're telling me that you like her, like I don't? It's not just that. I think you're a great guy too, right? That's why I, or as what Adachi says, right? I want to go down. But, like, I want to go down my way. Somewhere around there. Initially, I was just like, he wants to go down in a blaze of glory, right? He wants to at least have it a little epically, instead of just dying off. But he did give up before Ichikawa encouraged him to continue on. I don't remember who says this one, whether it was Ichikawa or Adachi. I think it was Mike said, I don't go talking like you know me at all. Don't go claiming like you like Yamada without knowing a damn thing about her. Okay, this was Ichikawa who says this. No guy who let himself believe that chocolate from Sekine meant something gets to claim that he likes Yamada. I love that. He's just like, yo dog, I know that you were simping over Moeko for a little bit and you're telling me that you like Yamada? The fuck, dog? To which Adachi says, I get it, okay? But you don't. Yamada is so much more grown up than us. And we can see a little tear coming from him. That's definitely not from the rain, right? And he starts to talk about all the good things about Yamada, which continues to be a big growth for Ichikawa, especially in his relationship with Adachi, right? Because he would never have been able to say this back when Adachi was talking about Yamada and like her body and everything and how Ichikawa felt sick, and so he walked away from that. And so here we are kind of continuing on from that conversation, and with Ichikawa finally being able to say like, hey dude, you don't even fucking know her. What are you telling me you like her, right? She's incredible, following her dreams and works harder than everybody. You can't claim to just like her because she's cute and pretty. To which, you know what, I don't particularly agree with Ichikawa, but I get where he's coming from, right? I get where he's coming from, because like, looks is something that people often notice a lot more, and then as you get to know that person, you start to unravel the person behind this look, right? And some people are just superficial, and you know, if that's how it is, that's how it is, as long as they end up having a nice and healthy relationship, albeit, you know, maybe it just won't work out because of the way it is. But again, you know, if you fall for someone because of their looks, and then you start to know them a little bit more, and maybe that gets you to fall in love with them a little bit more, who knows? It kind of makes me think of that's how Ichikawa initially thought about Yamada as well, until he starts learning more about her and he starts becoming more interested in her for the way that she is. Well, and also in the first episode, he really just immediately sees her true self and whatnot, unlike Adachi, who never really had the chance to do that. And I will say, I feel like Adachi maybe perhaps could have had that option as well, to have that growth as Ichikawa, but it was Ichikawa who took him of that opportunity. Not to say that Yamada would have fallen for Adachi or anything, right? But at least Adachi would have had somewhat of a chance for Yamada, or at least a chance for him to know Yamada a little bit more, maybe confess to her, and then eventually eventually being rejected by her or whatever. Okay, continuing on with this conversation. What was you saying? You can't go claiming to like her just because she's cute and pretty, because listen, I'm telling you, that's not what liking someone is about. I would say it could be a part of a first step, it's a multi-step thing. But here's Adachi, right? He's like, I know, I'm pretty sure I've lost already, right? Ichikawa's been out here blocking him this whole time. He's never really had the chance, but at the same time, Adachi never really created a chance for himself. Well, even when he did create a chance for himself, right? That one time where he wanted to ask Yamada for her line, Ichikawa took that away from him. But I think I've also mentioned this as well. If he wanted to do it straight up, he could have given it to Yamada. He could have just given it to Yamada directly instead of putting the onus onto Ichikawa. So that's still that's still Adachi's fault for not doing it directly. Let me go down in shame the way I want. Let me go down in shame. Okay, like, man's over here like, look, I know I've already lost, so like at least let me try to lose in my own ways, huh? And so we've got Ichikawa, who says, don't go accepting it. Are you kidding me? Cut the crap. You still like her for all those reasons, right? You're serious about this, right? Then tell me off. Show me you mean it. Man's out here yelling and crying. What difference would it make? None at all. No, but I mean it. I really like Yamada. He's yelling this out. The fucking rain is so heavy right now. Unfortunately, nobody else here hears it except for the boys, the 6 boys who are down there listening to all of this. But, maybe it's a code between bros. Actually, no, like, fucking Ota, or Yamada, I think that's his name. He's down there, right? He's a fucking teller. Well, yeah, maybe it's a bro code. We've, what happens in the sports festival stays in the sports festival, or in the cavalry battle anyways. But we've got Serina and Kobayashi, who's decided to go back, but luckily, the person who's staying next to Yamada is Moeko, and Moeko knows, right? You like him, so we'll just stay here for a while longer to see how this battle goes, huh? What do you want me to do, then? How should I know? You wanted to go one-on-one. Yeah, so we gotta duke it out. Yeah, so come on then. Damn it, if I didn't know you, man, I could have learned to hate her. Actually, I think this is what I kind of talked about in the way that Adachi is, right? In the way that, like, he saw some sort of message in Moeko's friendship chocolate, or obligatory chocolate. And I remember thinking about, like, oh, if you kind of have that, you're gonna, all this feeling that you have, or is going to turn into resentment. And so, if Adachi was on that path, if he hadn't met Ichikawa, he could have learned to hate Yamada instead, because it was going to be something that he couldn't have gotten. Which also kind of goes back to, like, episode 8 or 9 or something, right? Back when Ichikawa talks about how he knows that if he can't have something, if there's too much trouble, too much disappointment that's going to happen on the way, he knows that he wouldn't want to have to go through that tribulation, so he would rather just hate the thing, hate the person, and just have that as the excuse on why he doesn't have it, right? With, like, his smidge and all that. And then the same thing goes for Yamada when he felt like he was being used, so he just goes to, I hate Yamada. Just another parallel between Adachi and Ichikawa. But here we have Adachi, right, fucking jumping onto Ichikawa, grabbing his ban, and then the moment he grabs that, right, even though he's won, he sees that, maybe he also even hears Yamada as well, even though the rain's pretty long, so he probably didn't hear, but he does see, right? He sees that it says kill. He just gives that smile. And the 2 boys ended up feeling very hurty. This was a lose battle for the both of them, but it does help in establishing their relationship and really helps to see who likes who, right? Adachi already knows, but the moment he's laying down here and he sees Yamada coming up to Ichikawa, he he accepts the defeat, right? He won, but in the end, he lost the war, and the both of them cries about it, because for Ichikawa, he didn't want to lose, and that's exactly what the title says. He did not want to lose, but in the end, he lost. Yo, all I want to say is, your mother's a licensed nurse? Yamada, Adachi? Goddamn. Yo, we've got Yamada, who's over here. She's so jealous. I see, you're getting taken care of by another woman, huh? And we've got Adachi, who sees Yamada, so he just walks away, right? Because he faced a big loss, so he doesn't want to talk to her. And then we've got Moeko, who puts a towel over him, good job and all that, except it was the towel that both her and Yamada was using to cover against the rain. So he's just like, the fuck is this? It's wet. But hey, maybe that's just a nice little commemoration from Moeko. It's just like, hey, you did your best. Not as great, but you did your best. This is an effort towel. But hey, Adachi doesn't know that this towel was on top of both Moeko and Yamada. He got a prize, he didn't even know. But just as quick as Adachi in losing his love, or giving his love, or whatever, I like that his mom just kind of walked away. But he asks, are you Ichikawa's sister? And Kana's just over here like, yeah, get lost, kid. Damn, Kana really fucking struck him in the Kokoro. Adachi keeps options available. As he says, I'll fall in love with a girl who's in love with me. Although, maybe Kana glaring at him like that struck something else within him. But Kana was just here to... she was just there to glare at Adachi. That was like the whole thing, because she comes in, she hears Yamada and Ichikawa talking to one another, and she just walks away. While she did that, Yamada told Ichikawa, one thing my mom always told me is that not forgetting that disappointment is the most important part of moving on. Okay, disappointment. That makes Ichikawa remembers this moment. That's what I've been hiding from all this time. That disappointment that he's, disappointment's a real fucking party pooper, that's for sure. Even though Ichikawa lost, it's that disappointment. As long as he remembers these disappointments, he's able to move on from them. While Ichikawa was trying to forget about all of this, because whenever he thinks about his elementary days, he's just like, oh, those days, they're... my good old days, I'm remembering them again. He's always just like, my thoughts. my dark past and whatever. He's always trying to brush that aside, but here he is thinking about what Yamada told her, or at least what Yamada's mom told her that she told to Ichikawa. It's a game of telephone. In the end, he's got himself a nice egg, some nice onigiris. Oh my god, they are humongous. I'm starting to look like they're growing in size, it looks like, right? I was looking at this initially and I was just like, oh, maybe it's tiny, but then I'm starting to look like, oh my god. They're gigantic. My goodness, dude. My goodness. But hey, he gets a good reward by the end of all this, right? Yamada's food, and it tastes great. And then here she is, just staring straight at him, just to make sure that he's not bullshitting her or anything. But I love that he ends up feeding her, she's just like, look, I just want to see your face. But hey, he fed you. Very nice, right? You're really cool, Kyo. Okay, so she gives him that little compliment, but that was a little bit after, like, she wanted to eat lunch with him, but he's over here like, yo, people are gonna get the wrong idea. And, like, she looks a little sad, like... But I want people to look at this and have the wrong idea, even though it's technically the right idea, but you know. Or maybe she's thinking that, oh, this is wrong. Either way, tells him that he was pretty cool. So hey, despite that disappointment, despite the loss, he was still pretty cool out there in the battle. God, that's a giant fucking onigiri. So humongous, so much rice, and that's the end of it. Okay. Well. I really enjoyed this episode. Very, very good. And yeah, that's a lot of parallels between Ichikawa and Yamada and all that. And I'm just excited to see more growth between these two in terms of their relationships, Ichikawa and Adachi, I mean. But I have ranted for a little bit too much. So if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.